Maya sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the dim glow of her phone screen. The clock read 11:59 p.m., the same time every night when she began typing messages she knew would never be answered. Hey, Ethan. Today was rough. I saw your favorite coffee place on the way to work. I couldn't bring myself to go in. It just felt wrong without you. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. She pressed send and watched the message disappear into the void, the little blue bubble, a ritual she repeated every night for the last 12 months. It had been exactly 1 year since the accident. 1 year since Ethan's laugh filled her kitchen. 1 year since his hand fit perfectly into hers, as if the universe designed them to lock together. 1 year since he was gone. Maya had always hated goodbyes, but this one never ended. Her friends had stopped asking if she was doing better. Her mother no longer sent gentle reminders to move on. Even her therapist, after months of sessions, had suggested she let herself grieve in her own way. And this, sending text to Ethan's old number, was her way. It was stupid. She knew that. She knew no one was on the other side. The carrier had probably recycled his number by now, given it to some stranger who'd long since blocked her. Still, Maya texted, because typing to him was easier than accepting he was gone. She typed again. Remember that movie you made me watch 5 times? The one with the awful ending? I hate that I miss it now. I hate that I'd watch it 100 more times if it meant watching with you. Her thumb hovered, then tapped. Send. Her phone buzzed in her hand. Maya froze. The buzz wasn't the usual sent vibration. It was the one for an incoming message. She blinked at the screen, her heart hammering against her ribs. A notification popped up. New message from Ethan. Her throat closed. No, that wasn't possible. She was imagining things. The screen must be glitching. Maybe she'd accidentally sent the message to herself. With trembling hands, Maya opened the message. Ethan, I miss you too. The phone slipped from her hand, thudding onto the carpet. Her breath came in shallow gasps, as though the words had stolen the air from her lungs. No, she whispered. No, this isn't real. She scrambled for the phone, her fingers shaking so badly she almost dropped it again. She read the message once more. It was still there. I miss you too. Her stomach twisted. It had to be a prank. Someone had his old number. Someone cruel enough to play along with her grief. Her eyes blurred with tears as she typed furiously. Who is this? This isn't funny. Her hands trembled as she hit send. The dots appeared, typing bubbles. Whoever it was, they were already replying. The reply came quickly. Ethan, it's me. Maya's chest tightened. She stared at the words until they blurred into nothing. A sob ripped from her throat. No, you're dead, she whispered. You can't. Her phone buzzed again. Ethan, I know it's hard to believe, but it's me, Maya. Her knees went weak. She sank onto the bed, clutching the phone as if it were the only thing tethering her to reality. She wanted to throw it across the room. She wanted to smash it against the wall. But more than anything, God help her, she wanted to believe it. Prove it, she typed. If this is really Ethan, prove it. She waited, every second stretching into eternity. Then came the reply. Ethan, do you remember the night we got caught in the rain? You wore that yellow dress you hated because it made you look like a lemon. I told you looked like sunshine. You said if I ever called you sunshine again, you'd dump me on the spot. You were laughing when you said it. You always laugh when you threaten to dump me. Maya's breath hitched. Her fingers went slack. No one else knew that. Not her friends, not her family. It had been a moment, just the two of them, soaked and shivering, clinging to each other in the storm. Tears blurred her vision. This is impossible, she typed, her hands shaking. You're gone. I was there, Ethan. I saw. Dots appeared. Ethan, I know, baby. But I'm here now. Maya's heart raced. She pressed the phone to her chest, sobbing silently. For the first time in a year, she felt like she wasn't alone. But deep inside, a whisper lingered. What if this isn't him? What if it's something else? Maya wipes her tears, staring at the phone through blurry eyes. She wanted to scream, to demand answers, but her fingers typed something else instead. If it's really you, then meet me. Her screen flickers with 3 dots. Finally, the reply comes. Ethan, tomorrow, at our spot. Maya didn't sleep much that night. She lay in bed with her phone clutched against her chest, as if holding it tighter could keep the messages from vanishing. Every time her eyes closed, she imagined Ethan's face, the way his crooked smile appeared just before he cracked a joke, the way his dark hair curled against his forehead when it rained, the way his hand had felt warm and steady in hers. But morning came, harsh and unforgiving. The sunlight streaming through the curtains painted her room in gold, yet nothing inside her felt golden. She blinked awake, groggy, almost convincing herself it had been a dream. Her stomach twisted. What if it was just a cruel hallucination? She scrambled for her phone on the nightstand, heart hammering. She opened her messages. They were still there. I miss you, too. It's me. Tomorrow, at our spot. Maya pressed a hand over her mouth, tears stinging her eyes again. The proof was there in black and white. Someone had written back. Whether it was Ethan or not, that was another matter. Her phone buzzed in her palm. Another message. Ethan, good morning, sunshine. Maya gasped. The word, sunshine, the same name he'd once used, teasing her in the rain. She sank back onto her pillow, phone pressed to her lips. A laugh escaped her throat. Part joy, part disbelief, part grief clawing at the edges of her sanity. Good morning, she whispered to no one, before typing it back with trembling fingers. By noon, her phone was a chain of conversations she couldn't look away from. Whoever was on the other end, they knew everything. Not just the big things anyone could guess, the accident, his name, the 1-year anniversary. No, they knew the little things. The song he used to hum whenever she was stressed. The way she hated olives on pizza, but always picked them off his plate. The exact words he'd whispered into her ear on the night of her graduation. I'm proud of you, Maya. You're unstoppable. She scrolled, her chest tight. No stranger could know these things. No prankster could make her heart race this way. Still, she needed to tell someone. At 2 p.m., she sat across from Lena at their favorite diner. The air smelled like burnt coffee and maple syrup, the clinking of dishes filling the silence as Maya stirred her untouched latte. I think Ethan texted me, Maya blurted. Lena's spoon froze midway to her mouth. Maya. Her tone was flat, cautious. I know how it sounds. Maya rushed, but I swear it was him. He knew things no one else could know. Private things. Things I never told anyone, not even you. Lena set her spoon down and leaned forward, eyes sharp with concern. Maya, listen to yourself. Dead men don't text. Someone must have gotten his old number. Maybe they're messing with you. Or worse, they're trying to scam you. Maya bristled. A scammer wouldn't know the night we got caught in the rain, or the exact words he whispered at graduation. How could they know that? People can find anything online if they dig hard enough, Lena argued. Or maybe you mentioned those things to someone without realizing it. Maya, you want this to be him so badly that you're ignoring the obvious. Her throat tightened. She looked down at her hands, twisting in her lap. Even if you're right, even if it's not him, she swallowed hard. It feels like him, Lena. And for the first time in a year, I feel like I'm not alone. Isn't that worth something? Lena reached across the table, squeezing Maya's hand. Her voice softened. I just don't want to see you hurt again. You've been through hell. Please don't let some stranger rip open your wounds. Maya nodded, though her heart rebelled. She didn't want logic. She wanted Ethan. That night, as the sun bled orange into the horizon, Maya sat curled on her couch, clutching her phone like a lifeline. It buzzed again. Ethan, do you remember the gazebo at Lincoln Park? Her chest constricted. Of course she remembered. It was their place. The night of their first kiss, Ethan had led her to that rickety old wooden gazebo, strung with fairy lights left over from some forgotten festival. He'd kissed her there under a canopy of stars, whispering, "This is our spot now." Her thumbs hesitated over the keyboard. Yes, I remember. The reply came almost instantly. Ethan, meet me there tomorrow. At sunset. Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. Meet? It was one thing to read the words. It was another to stand face to face with whoever, or whatever, was on the other end. Her hands shook as she typed. I don't know if I can. Ethan, please. I need to see you again. One last time. Tears blurred her vision. One last time. Her body ached for it, even as her brain screamed in warning. What if it was dangerous? What if Lena was right? What if she showed up and found nothing but an empty gazebo? But what if she found him? The thought stole her breath. Hours passed as she paced the apartment, arguing with herself, clutching the phone like a lifeline. Finally, just before midnight, she typed a single word. Okay. She dropped the phone onto the couch, pressing both hands over her face as if she could hold her heart inside her chest. Sleep came in fragments that night, broken by dreams of rain and laughter, of Ethan's hand pulling her through a storm, of the gazebo glowing softly in the dark. At 3 a.m., her phone buzzed once more. She groggily reached for it, eyes burning from exhaustion. One new message. Ethan, I can't wait to see you again. Sunshine. Maya's breath caught. The word again. Sunshine. She pressed the phone to her chest, her tears soaking the pillow. Ethan, she whispered into the dark. If it's really you, please let it be you. And with that prayer lodged in her throat, she drifted into restless sleep. The next evening, Maya stood at the edge of Lincoln Park, her heart rattling like a bird trapped in a cage. The sun hovered low, painting the sky in shades of crimson and violet. She pulled her jacket tighter, though the late summer air was warm. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She already knew who it was. Ethan, are you here? She swallowed hard, typing with trembling hands. Yes, the old gazebo stood ahead, just as she remembered it. Weathered wood, peeling white paint, fairy lights dangling loosely from the beams, survivors of a festival long gone. This was where Ethan had kissed her for the first time, where he'd whispered, "This is our spot now." Her knees felt weak as she stepped closer. She half expected Ethan himself to emerge in the shadows, smiling with that crooked grin, holding out his hand the way he always did. But the figure who waited inside wasn't Ethan. A tall man stood there, maybe in his mid-20s. Dark hair, kind eyes, but not Ethan's eyes. He turned as she approached, and the soft glow of the fairy lights lit his face. Maya froze. "Who are you?" she demanded, voice cracking. The man's lips parted, as if he had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. "My name is Liam." Her blood turned cold. You're the one texting me." He nodded slowly, guilt flickering across his face. "Yes." Maya's chest constricted. Anger surged through her veins. "Why? Do you have any idea what you've done? Pretending to be him, playing with me like this?" Liam shook his head quickly. No, I swear, I never meant to hurt you. I wasn't pretending. Not exactly. At first, I didn't even plan to reply. But then I read your words, and he took a breath, steadying himself. "I have something to tell you. Something important." Maya's arms crossed tightly over her chest. "Then say it." Liam's eyes softened, almost pleading. "A year ago, I was in the hospital. I needed a heart transplant. I didn't think I'd make it. And then someone saved my life." Maya's stomach dropped. The air rushed from her lungs. "No," she whispered. "Yes," Liam said gently. "It was Ethan. I received his heart." The world tilted on its axis. Maya stumbled back, her vision swimming. "You're lying. That can't." "I'm not," Liam cut in, his voice firm but kind. "I didn't know at first. The hospital doesn't usually tell you. But later, I found out his name. Ethan." Maya's hand shook violently. She wanted to scream, to deny, to collapse. "Then why text me? Why pretend to be him?" "I wasn't pretending," Liam said quietly. "When I got this number, I started getting your messages. Every night, your words appeared. At first, I thought I should ignore them. But then, I read them. And the way you wrote about him, about his laugh, his kindness, the way he made you feel, it was like I could hear him. It was like his heart wasn't just beating inside me, but speaking through you." Maya's throat burned. Tears spilled down her cheeks unchecked. Liam stepped closer, his expression earnest. I know I shouldn't have replied, but when I did, it felt right, like I was carrying a piece of him. And through your words, I felt like I knew him, like I knew you. Maya shook her head, covering her face with trembling hands. This is insane. This is... Liam hesitated, then whispered, He loved you. I could feel it in every message you sent. And somehow, through all this, I think I've fallen for you too. The words sliced through her like glass. Her heart screamed betrayal, yet beneath it, something softer stirred. No, she choked out. You can't. You don't even know me. I do, Liam said, voice trembling. Not everything. Not the way Ethan did. But I know how deeply you love, because I've read it in every word you wrote. I know how much you ache, because I've felt it in every heartbeat that's not mine but his. And I know that he would never want you to spend the rest of your life trapped in grief. Silence fell. The world around them blurred. The rustling trees, the distant sound of children playing, the hum of crickets. All that remained was a faint glow of the fairy lights and the hollow ache in Maya's chest. She wanted to run, to curse him, to cling to him, to scream, to collapse into his arms. Instead, she whispered, Why me? Why now? Liam swallowed, his eyes glistening. Because when I read your words, I realized something. Ethan may be gone, but love doesn't die. It just changes shape. And maybe, just maybe, that love led me to you. Her tears blurred the world until all she could see was the outline of him, this stranger who carried the heart she had lost. For the first time in a year, Maya felt the faintest flicker of something she thought she'd buried forever. Not joy, not yet, but possibility. Slowly, she stepped forward, close enough to hear his breath, to see the hope trembling in his eyes. Her voice was barely a whisper. Ethan called me sunshine once. Only once. And you remembered. Liam smiled softly, his eyes never leaving hers. He must have wanted me to. Maya's chest rose and fell, her heartbeat racing, his heartbeat, too, beating inside him. For a long moment, they stood there, two strangers bound by love, by loss, by something neither could explain. Finally, Maya let out a shaky breath. I don't know if I can forgive you. Not yet. But maybe I don't want to stop talking either. Liam nodded, relief washing over his face. That's all I ask. The last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving the gazebo bathed in twilight. For the first time in a year, Maya didn't feel entirely alone. She glanced at the phone in her hand, the messages glowing faintly on the screen. She whispered into the night, half to Ethan, half to herself. Maybe love doesn't end after all. Maybe it just finds a new way forward. And as Liam stood beside her, their shadows stretching long under the fairy lights, Maya felt, for the first time in forever, that maybe, just maybe, tomorrow could be brighter than yesterday.